Hey y'all. So make sure I'm recording. All right, I just wanted to come in and talk about my first foster care placement. So in the last video, I told you guys about the process. So you can go back and watch that. But basically, my husband and I started the foster care process in December of 2019, and we got our first placement in February. And when I tell you that it seems like the last little piece of paper that we submitted, like we submitted that last little piece of paper, and then the next day, literally, we got a call. So we get a call that there are three kids, a 2 year old, a 3 year old, and a 9 month old. And they wanted to know if we could take all three. Well, when we submitted our paperwork, we were requesting only between 2 and 5 years old. So we didn't have a crib or anything for an infant. So we told them, we can't take all three. We can take the 2 and 3 year old, but we can't take all three. So they couldn't find a place for all three. So the little baby, the 9 month old, ended up going to another home, and they sent the 2 and 3 year old with us. So mind you, we didn't have car seats then because we didn't know it would happen so fast. Like we didn't know that, we thought we would get a call, but maybe we would have a few days to get the kids. But we were going to get them that night. Like they needed to send them to us that night. So we get the call, we said, okay, we ran out to Target and got 2 car seats, and then they brought the babies here. And of course, I fell in love instantly. They were really, really sweet kids. And they told us up front, like, look, the judge is ordering for all three of them to be together. So if they find another home that can take all three, we're going to have to take the kids from you. And so we were like, okay, fine. We'll do, the judge is doing what's best for the kids. So that was that. So we get settled in. So I made a few talking points so I could try to include everything for you guys. So we get the 2 kids that next day. And I'll say this. I feel like the foster care system is made for either retired adults or like stay at home parents. So where one parent goes to work and then the other parent can stay at home and do the foster care. And I'll tell you why. So the very next day we got the kids, we had no daycare for them. Because daycare, everybody knows daycare is a process. So we had no daycare for them. So my husband ended up taking off of work that day. Luckily, though, we were able to find emergency childcare through our foster agency. So we ended up taking them to an emergency. It was just like an in-home daycare. So we ended up taking them there, and really they were the only 2 there with the lady, but it's like we didn't have a choice because both of us are working adults. So we took the kids there until we were able to get them into daycare. So that was like a week of them going to another, in-home facility, rather than like a public facility like KinderCare, because that's where we ended up sending them. I felt kind of bad about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to drop these babies off here, but I had to go to work. Like I can't just, I'm a teacher. It's hard for teachers to take off. It's just harder than any other job I think I've had to take off. Teaching. Now, mind you, I can definitely take off anytime I want, but you just have to create subplans, all this other stuff. So it's a little harder to take off when you're a teacher. But anyway, we ended up getting the kids into that the in-home facility for like a week. And then our foster agency submitted a request, because I told you that they'll pay for childcare. So they submitted a request for us to go to KinderCare, but that took like about a week to get that going. But finally, they got into KinderCare and everything was peachy keen. They were happy there, so that was good. Now, so in California, when you get kids, foster kids, within the first 30 days, you have to take them to a doctor's appointment and a dentist appointment. So we were able to get the doctor's appointment right away. So and that was, that was fairly easy for us. This is pre-COVID, of course. So that was fairly easy. We were able to take them to the doctor. We waited a little while because, like I said, you have 30 days to the dentist. We waited a little while for the dentist, and by the time I was trying to schedule it, that's when everything started closing because of the pandemic. So I ended up not being able to take them to the dentist. But just keep that in mind. If you're getting kids, generally they want you to take them within the first 30 days. Luckily, with the doctor's office that we chose, they had appointments on Saturday, so we were able to take the kids on Saturday. So that was really good. What else? So then as far as like visitation, so we were able to visit with the birth mom in the beginning, once again pre-COVID. But then after everything started closing, the visitation, the county is saying, you can't do in-person visits anymore, so we had to FaceTime with the parent. And that worked out very well. We were lucky to have like a very, very sweet birth mom, so I was fortunate in that. So then we were, everything was going good. The kids were getting settled in. And then about 6 weeks later or so, okay, so everything is going well. And remember that we had them during, because we got them in February, at the end of February. So that was kind of pre-COVID, but then COVID hit and everything started closing. So luckily their daycare was still open, and I did still take them because I had to work. So I still took them to daycare, but as far as like the evenings or the weekends, we couldn't really do anything. Like we had planned all this stuff. We were going to go to Disneyland and just do a whole bunch of stuff, but because of the closure, we couldn't. So we ended up like on the weekends and stuff, we would walk around the block and just play outside in the front yard and things like that. But like I said, they were really, really sweet kids. So everything's going good. And, we know in the back of our mind that, and mind you, while we had the kids, you still get home visits. So we had visits from the foster family agency, but eventually they started doing like FaceTime visits because of the pandemic. And then we also had visits from the county social worker. So you'll end up having you'll have more than one person that you have to deal with. You'll have your foster family agency, you'll have that social worker, and then you'll also have a county social worker. And then if the kid needs any other type of like special program or assistance, like behavior wise or therapy, you're going to have to deal with those businesses as well, or those people as well. And they'll probably want to come out to your home and do some type of consultation or visit with the children. But like I said, everything that we did, primarily, it was through FaceTime because of the pandemic, or Zoom, or whatever, video conferencing method. So that's that. And like our county social worker, our foster family social worker, like she would check in with us as far as the visits and like seeing the kids. That was on a weekly basis. The county social worker, maybe once a month or twice, I can't remember exactly, but we were always in contact with them through text message and phone. So they'd always be checking, how are the kids going? And mind you, like if they had like a small little cold and we went to the doctor or took them to the doctor, we had to let them know. We had to send them the doctor's notes. Everything you do has to be documented, and you have to always send that correspondence to your social worker. Also, I forgot what I was going to say. I forgot. Okay. So anyway, everything's going well, and it comes like the 6th week that we had them, and we got a call that they found a family. that would take all three. So we were just devastated. Once again, this is our first placement. We didn't know, like, we were like, okay, everything's closed down. We're thinking that we'll have the kids longer because, like, birth mom can't go to court because the courts are shut down, blah, 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 whatever. We just thought everything would move a little slower. And we thought we'd at least have them for 6 months. But no, we had them for 6 weeks. And we didn't think, I don't know what we were thinking, but we didn't think that they would find a family that would take all three at this time, like during a pandemic. It just didn't occur to us. But anyway, and throughout the time we had them, they kept asking, hey, do you want to take the baby? Do you want to take the baby? But my husband and I, we just could not take the baby. It would have just been too much. I know what I was going to tell you guys. Also, when you get the kids, like our agency, you have to spend about $70 a month on clothes and shoes. So I ended up ordering, I got a lot of stuff from Target. Thank God Target was still open. But I also started ordering stuff online because I had to make that $70 a month. So I was able to get the kids that. So, my agency says you have to spend $70 a month on the kids' clothes and shoes. So yeah, you'll have to do that as well. All right, so yeah, we get the call that they found a family, and my heart just dropped. I was like, what? I can't believe it. Now, and mind you, I was a little stressed out because it's hard. Like I said, I have a 14-year-old. He's independent, and now I get a 2- and 3-year-old running around the house. It's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But I had started getting into a routine, and I had gotten used to them, and now they are leaving. So I think the first day, like she told us, the social worker told us that like on a Tuesday that they had found a family and that the family was going to get them on Friday. I probably cried every day. I cried every day up until Friday. And of course, Friday when we let them go, I cried as well. This is me early in the morning, getting all the kids' stuff packed up before we take them to their new home. This is all the stuff that they have amassed since they've been with us for a little over a month. So these are the little bags that they came with that was given to them by their agency. So I'm just gonna put all their stuff in there, and then I'll go collect some of their toys. But yeah, we're getting ready to go in a few hours. I cried as well. And it was just, I don't know, I was just heartbroken. And I was to the point where I told my husband, like, I can't do this again. Like, this is too, it's too heartbreaking. So anyway, Friday came, and we met the new family at the agency, at our foster family agency. And they were really nice, thank God. And we even exchanged numbers and everything. And I was just, they were kind of looking at us like, why is she crying? Because I went in there and I was crying, y'all. I was crying so hard. And I know they were probably like, what's wrong with this girl? But we talked to them, and like the husband was like, this y'all first time, right? And I was like, yeah, And so he was like, you guys got to get used to this. And they were telling us their stories, how they had like a set of twins for like a year and some change, and they had to give them up. They said that was really hard for them. So I guess everybody's first placement is hard. I mean, I should have went into it knowing, I knew that these weren't my kids, but I don't know. I guess sometimes in the back of your mind, you have that thought that, maybe they'll come up for adoption. And I guess that was the thought that I had in my head, like maybe we could adopt them. It would be perfect. We have a boy and a girl, and they're so sweet. But these are not your kids. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to go back to their birth mom. And that's what you hope for, right? That's what you really do hope for, is that the birth mom can get everything together and that the kids go back to their birth mom. But anyway, I was really upset. We let them go. And I was okay the next day, but I just kept on, thinking about them, and I do miss them. I haven't reached out to the new foster mom because just didn't want to bother her, although she gave me her number and everything. And she sent me a picture that night, and she was like, they're doing well, they're adjusting well. So they looked happy in the picture, and I'm sure that they will be fine, but it was just really, really, really hard for me. So anyway, that's that. It's been about a month since they've been gone. Yeah, probably like a month since they've been gone, and we are thinking of getting another foster child. Now, this time, I don't think we'll do two. We'll just start with one. Still the same age range, 2 to 5 years old. But yeah, like I said, first I was against it because I'm like, it's too hard. I can't let go. But now I think my mindset is a little better, and I know that these are not my kids. And see, what messed me up is my friend that I told you guys about in the last video, she got the 9-month-old baby. Like, her baby is coming up for adoption right now, and she's going to adopt her. But that's like unheard of. Like, and that's her first placement. Generally, your first placement, you never ever get to adopt. That's just the likelihood, right? But yeah, so anyway, I'll keep you guys posted to let you know if we do get another placement. We're thinking the end of this month, which is May. We're thinking about getting another placement. I hope that things go back to normal, so we can get like in a normal routine as far as like the pandemic. I hope we're in California. I hope things open up and we can like take the kid out and do everything. Although I'm a little afraid because I've been a germaphobe, but now I'm like really a germaphobe now. But anyway, that's that. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them, and I'll keep you guys posted on our foster care journey. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. See you in the next video.